Well, CoastLife, maybe your family is something a little bit like mine, where we spent years coming down to Rehoboth Beach to celebrate the summer for a week, make those special memories, and just keep coming back, loving every second of it. But if you've never been to the Rehoboth Beach Museum to explore a little bit of the history, you are definitely missing out. It is so cool, so fun, and they have a new exhibit, which is what Charlie Sakaitis is out there checking out now.
For the history buffs living on or visiting the coast, there is a new exhibit at the Rehoboth Beach Museum. Just enter through the front doors, punch the button to floor 2, and as you step through the elevator doors, you're transported back in time to the Rehoboth Beach of the 1690s, where African Americans and their community played a huge role in the growth of the area, even as they had to deal with oppression, segregation, and the rules of the day. This is all part of the newest exhibition on display for the museum, celebrating African American Rehoboth 1690 to 1960. Heidi Nastrom Evans is the executive director for the Rehoboth Beach Museum, and she explains why this 300-year period of time, and specifically the contributions of the Black community during that time, is so important to life on the coast.
We're doing this because this story is so integral to Rehoboth Beach's history, and it hasn't been made public or hasn't been told quite like this.
Now, there's a lot to see throughout this exhibit, but one of the jewels sure to catch your attention is the diorama, constructed by Paul Lovett, a Rehoboth Beach historian, and the section of the city it depicts is no mistake.
When you drive into Rehoboth and you cross the bridge, that's the canal that's represented here. And it's important for this exhibit because it was the racial demarcation line during the period of segregation.
According to Nastrom Evans, for the Black community, you did not cross the canal unless you had to work in Rehoboth or you were headed to the segregated section of the beach. But the diorama is just one part of the show. Another attention grabber can be seen on the video boards on each side of the presentation hallway.
We have in our collection wonderful oral histories. In the exhibit here, you'll see there are 4 videos that are telling stories, and they're compilations of these oral histories. African American education is one of the topics. The segregated beach is one of the topics.
To bring all this to life, it takes an entire team of volunteers. Nastrom Evans says Mal Meehan helped design the information boards. Robert Thompson spent years gathering individual histories. But even with all that help, it takes one more thing: money.
We received a very generous grant from the state of Delaware called a Delaware 250 grant, celebrating the 250th anniversary of the country. But it only went so far.
Now that the exhibit is up and running, giving museum fans something new to come see, Nastrom Evans is both waving people in to check things out and keeping an eye on the future to explore what's next.
This year we did the African American exhibit. Next year we're doing an exhibit on historic maps of Delaware. And then the year after that we're doing the history of queer Rehoboth.
The hope is by keeping things fresh, they can keep visitors walking through the door.
It used to be that you'd come here and we had a permanent installation, which is wonderful, but if you had seen it once, there really wasn't a reason to come back again. And now we're trying through our rotating exhibits to give people reasons to come back over and over again.
But enough with the future, there's still more to learn about the now, and in this current exhibit, Nastrom Evans has a little extra space in her heart for one particular part of the display: relics from the farm of colonist John and Sarah Avery.
And my favorite part of this whole exhibit are 2 tiny brass buttons that they found on one of the burial sites that would have been on the breeches of one of the men that they found there. And I just love that resonance between now and the past that these little tiny artifacts can bring to life.
Bringing the past to life. That is exactly what you'll find the team doing over at the Rehoboth Beach Museum, and that labor of love is an idea they'd like to see continue for generations to come.
We're hopeful that people will carry on what we've started here moving forward, because this certainly isn't the end of the story but it's a first stab at making sure that the African American contribution to this town is acknowledged.
So if you love the long lens of history, if you want a better understanding of the people that helped make Rehoboth Beach what it is today, or if you just want a better connection to the community you live in, you can find a lot of that right here at the Rehoboth Beach Museum.
Yet another fantastic exhibit from our friends at the Rehoboth Beach Museum right there in downtown Rehoboth. It's at the very top of the avenue, basically. You can't miss it when you come into town. Definitely worth checking out, whether you're here as a visitor or if you're here as a resident and you haven't popped in yet. We have some more Coast Life to get to, just a little bit more to wrap up our Friday edition when we get back.